Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another installment of For the Fan, episode number 175. I'm Will. We got Jake here. Jake, hello.
What's up?
Thanksgiving's here. We're gonna talk about what we're thankful for and what irks us later on. We're gonna be talking about why we're very thankful about, the Raiders getting rid of their offensive coordinator and the Giants getting rid of theirs, and maybe the Giants' son with his thing going on there. Maybe there's stuff going on there with the Giants. We're going to be figuring it all out, though. We got everything on tap. How would you rate this week of football? A lot of good games. We had like 4 or 5 really solid games. The primetime games sucked, but
I am miserable.
everything else was
Everything's
dandy.
awful.
There was no smiles here. Alrighty. But I'm going to cue up this intro here. We're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about these firings right after this. You're listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
Alrighty, we have some news to report on here, okay? The Raiders, 12 weeks into the Chip Kelly experience, $6 million a year, they somehow took him away from Ohio State to come to the NFL, fired, and then Shane Bowen, who was really on his way out of New York, now gets fired after, a very lackluster year with a defense that on paper should have been a top 5 unit in this football league. Yeah, underperforming from Chip Kelly, 12 weeks into this season, he's over, he's done with, and it's just, there it goes, crash and burn. Would it have been different if it was Marcus Mariota at quarterback?
That's all he needed. He didn't have enough Oregon guys. Not enough guys from the Pac-12.
I missed the Pac-12. RIP. It's coming back. Not in full, though. But yeah, another blown week, though, by the New York Giants. 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. Shane Bowen and the Giants they crumbled under pressure. Jameis Winston had a receiving touchdown. It looked really good. He was stiff-arming people, throwing them to the ground, doing all those showboating activities. And, well, unfortunately, the things come to an end, and it did with the Giants. What might be next year for New York as the Mike Kafka experience is taking full swing?
Jeez. See, Shane Bowen is the sole reason why I'm okay, you can fire Daboll because of that, but because he was the guy that went to bat for and wanted Bowen in the worst way, and he's just awful. Nothing about that guy is oh, good defense. But I think Kafka comes from that good Andy Reid tree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he'll be a great coach, but
was he a Eagles quarterback at one point?
Yeah, I believe he was third string around the Vic era. I think he was third string at one point to him and Foles. And then it was Barkley, I think, who replaced him.
Matt Barkley, baby. Go SC. But yeah, another floundering week there for the Giants. But then, you look at the Raiders. The Raiders, they trade a pretty decent draft pick to acquire Geno Smith. They draft one of the best running back prospect on the board this past draft, and Ashton Jeanty. Team just really falls apart, and they haven't really been the same. They trade Jacoby Myers. They ship him away to Jacksonville for a 4 and a 6. Raiders don't even look anything remotely like a football team. Tom Brady's upset because that was his first big hire. I want Chip Kelly to be the OC, and 12 weeks. 12 weeks.
It wasn't exactly his first hire, first choice. There was I think there was a few other names, including Robert Saleh. I think even I forget, there was a couple other guys that he was begging to try and send money at.
Yeah. But unfortunately with the Raiders, it's not looking too good. Will Pete Carroll retire, or will he get fired at the end of the season? He's already down as special teams coordinator. He's already down as offensive coordinator. Things are not looking too hot there for the Vegas team. But is there really a care in the world when you could sell out your stadium to the opposing fans and they'll pay whatever money there is that you're charging?
Well, especially when those ticket prices are obscene.
$400 for the last row in the nosebleeds. End zone. Not even the 50. Right in the end zone.
Unbelievable.
Those F1 tickets were probably cheaper this past weekend in Vegas.
No, they
go to.
They were thousands of dollars.
If you go to Escalator Land, you just go up and down the escalators, just watching everything. You can't stand still, but you just have to keep on moving.
Yeah, you saw that clip of the people trying to watch the whatever it was, whatever event that was
Whatever
like
turn it was. Yeah. I think it's funny. That's hysterical.
Yeah, that's F1's kind of notorious for that. You don't really get the stands where you need them to be.
Yeah. Right where the fountains are, right where everything else is, and yeah. Vegas just doing Vegas things there. As we have crucial phone calls coming in here for Sir Jake. But yeah, we're going to see what happens there with the Raiders. Giants, obviously, head coaching search. They're definitely getting onto it, fairly early. So they're going to be figuring all that out. But let's go into this injury report really quick here. Devonta Smith, second day of no practice due to shoulder, chest, and now an illness. Also, Xavier Gibson did not practice after his 32% fumble rate.
That's okay. He's really lucky the injury is keeping him on the roster.
We have Brandon Cooks, who signed with the Buffalo Bills, and then right after that, they released Elijah Moore. So that's something to look at there. Joe Burrow activated off of injured reserve 2.5 months after tearing up his toe with the tragic turf toe. He's going to be back on Thursday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. And if it's anything like it was last year, we are in for a very good game. Josh Jacobs, no injury designation. He is a full go for tomorrow in Detroit. Matthew Golden listed as questionable against the Detroit Lions. Let's see. What else do we have here? What else? Jackson Dart was a full participant in practice ever since suffering the concussion at the end of the Dable era in Chicago. So he's definitely on track to be playing Monday Night Football in New England. Marvin Harrison Jr. back at practice after his appendicitis surgery that he had there for the Arizona Cardinals. Scary Terry, Deebo Samuel, Noah Brown, all three of the Commanders wide receivers are on the practice field at the same time. First time since week number 2. JJ McCarthy in concussion protocol. Max Brosmer, the rookie undrafted guy out of Minnesota. First team reps. Could he be starting on Sunday? 5-year person.
Who else? Carson Wentz's
There's
shoulder
no one
doesn't
else.
exist. Yeah.
There's no one else there.
You could, I thought 9 was a whole different person than JJ McCarthy.
He threw 9 interceptions. That's what he did.
Yeah. 9 packs of fries in the bag.
I'll take a number 9. Oh. Chiefs guard, Trey Smith, tight end, Noah Gray, and cornerback Chris Roland Wallace are all out versus the Cowboys. Isaiah Pacheco hasn't played since week 8. No injury designation. He will be playing against Dallas in Dallas on that Thanksgiving Day game. And Tyler Guyton, the Cowboys offensive tackle, high ankle sprain, ruled out. Let's see. Bills have reported Dalton Kincaid, Curtis Samuel, Terrell Bernard, Deion Dawkins, Spencer Brown are not going to be practicing today. The Bills could be without both their starting tackles against a very good Pittsburgh Steelers rushing attack on Sunday at 4:25 Eastern. Patriots placed Will Campbell on injured reserve, but it sounds like right when that 4-game injured reserve window is up, he could be elevated right back. So just some precautionary reasons there for the Patriots and their number 4 overall pick. And I think that might be all. I don't have too much else. Oh, looking like another week without Drake London there for the Atlanta Falcons as they face the New York Jets up in the armpit of America there, MetLife Stadium. Oh, yeah, we have Morig, the Panther safety, who tried to cause a fumble. He's trying to fumble the wrong balls there, causing a fight at the end of the football game. He's just going, listen, there's only one ball in play. There's never two. So him going right after that's a little questionable there by that guy. But, hey,
listen,
1-game suspension.
Peanut punch is real effective.
Emphasis on peanut, on the peanuts punch. Alrighty, but who stood out from week number 12 this past week? And newsflash, you can't pick Jahmyr Gibbs. with his ridiculous 14.8 yards per carry on 15 rushes.
Davis Mills, baby. Bringing Houston back to relevance.
Back from the dead. Everything going right there for Houston. A game over 500. 3-game win streak there for him. Who can I pick? You know, I might just go out and say Jackson Smith and Jigba. All-time Seahawks single-game receiving yards mark with, look at that, 5 games left to go. He's on pace to get 2,000. Sam Darnold's getting him the football. The only guy on the field even getting him the football. So you got that looking out for him. And if I had to pick another one, I would say, oh, geez, who would I even say? I'm choking here. Here we go. Wait, I'm going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out right here. Who is the second one? I got it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I got another one.
Who's your other one?
Jameis Winston. His one game he always has when he comes back.
When Jameis is playing as the starting quarterback in the NFL, football is always better.
Yeah. Now we just need it to snow.
The Lord's blessed me to play in some snow. I'm so excited. I mean, I'll branch off the Jameis Winston thing. Wan'Dale Robinson, 159 yards last week against the Detroit Lions, a touchdown. Giants have the 6th most receiving yards in the NFL, and yet they're a 3-win team this year.
Oh, that's Daboll in a nutshell. We throw the ball deep every play, and we lose.
There was another thing that they were leading into, and I'm drawing a blank on it. And Giants fans are like losing their minds on like Twitter, and they're just like, "What the fuck is going on here? Like, come on, are we actually serious here?"
That sentence was too long. Giants fans are losing their mind on Twitter. That's it. Doesn't matter what it's about.
They're always losing their mind. But yeah, we're entering the final stretch of the season. We're entering week 13, so we have 5 more weeks to go. And who are you looking at as we enter this final stretch of the season?
Selfishly, the Eagles coaching staff, as he stares into the void. Man, I just like everything the Patriots have done, which is wild considering the last 20 years.
All the success that they've had under their belt.
You know, those down years, man, they're real rough.
They're not ready.
I really thought that I would be like wishing them demise for the next 20 years, and I'm just not. Like, Brady's gone, cheating Bill is gone, and suddenly it's just like, oh, it's fresh again.
I'm just waiting for next year when they actually have a hard schedule, and then they just kind of crumble.
Well, maybe.
I'm patiently waiting for that.
I know you want it.
I want it so badly. That's one team I can't stand. The 2 weeks that they play the Jets, but who cares about the Jets? I'm going to pick 2 here. I'm going to put my eyes on the Kansas City Chiefs. They have not missed the playoffs since before Andy Reid came into town, or even the year after Andy Reid came to town. They've always been consistently in the playoffs.
Yeah, their first year, they definitely made the playoffs because that was the Andrew Luck game.
Yeah, so definitely, they made that. Then they definitely didn't make it the next 2 years. In 2015, they won the division, and they won it for the last 10 years. So I want to look out for the Chiefs, especially with what they have going on for them. Because right now, they're on the out looking into the playoff picture. And then another team I really want to put in there is the Cowboys. It was a really impressive week last week, and the defense kind of looks a little bit better, especially with stopping the run. Adding Quinnen Williams, and you get Logan Wilson, and you also get what's his face from the Packers, the defensive tackle. So you have a lot of good kind of going in there. Let's see what they can do. But also, the NFC is the best that it's been in the last, 10 years. All the teams have 7 wins or more looking at the playoffs right now. It's scary.
Well, playing defense against our offense is just, it's easy to begin with.
Yeah. And if I have to pick one more team, I might have to say the NFC South, whoever's winning that division, because the Panthers had a chance to leapfrog the Bucks, but they didn't. The Bucks now could be without Baker for at least a game. Who knows what's going to be going on there? And then the Panthers, Bryce Young just has his bad game, and it might be the beginning of the end there for Mr. number 1 overall pick there, costing 3 first-round picks and a second.
Well, it's been kind of over there. He had one good game.
And then, instead of being thankful for everything, we're always thankful for this, we're always thankful for that. It's always the same segment every single year. What is the smallest thing that irks you?
So we were going through it before because I had to actually think about it being put on the spot. If you don't put your shopping cart back, you are the worst person in humanity. It's not hard.
Yeah, that. For me, it's hand lotion. I despise hand lotion. I can't do it. Nose strips. Nose strips were invented by the devil. You cannot convince me otherwise. Those things are the absolute worst things. And it's like breaking your nose trying to peel that bitch off. You're just like, you're trying to do it and you're just like, it's not like a Band-Aid where you can just rip it off. It's curved and like all that stuff. Like it gets stopped at one point on the curve of your nose. And then the top button of a dress shirt. Not all the time, but it's when you haven't worn your dress shirt in a little bit, and then it's like, oh, something might have happened. You might have put on a little bit of extra weight. You might have done this, might have done that, and it's just like you're choking yourself out on just that top button.
Well, listen, I have a pretty thick neck, and the top button just doesn't fit anyway, so I don't even try. Like, I don't.
I like the ones I just got now. They do work they work wonders. They do. But like there was a time where I'm just like, I hate this top button. You can't figure it out. Also the cufflinks, if you take it off, if you unbutton them and you're trying to redo it, and it's like one's always going to get in, the other one's just like the largest pain in the ass to even get done.
They're never the right size.
Oh yeah, they're always two different ones.
Like just get stuck halfway through and you have to like force it.
Even like buttons on like flannels, because they're like the same, and it's just like you try to figure that out, and it's like, what's going on here? You're trying to figure all that out. I want to get to a couple fantasy questions here because we do have a couple here. We have R who says start Troy Franklin or Wan'Dale Robinson. I would say you might have to start Troy Franklin against the Commanders on Sunday. I say you have to. Wan'Dale against Christian Gonzalez doesn't seem like a good matchup. Should I start Quinshon Judkins or Devin Neal? I'd say I would say Judkins against the Niners, but also Devin Neal against the Miami run defense that is worse than anything in the world. I would go with that in a heartbeat, though. I don't know. No, it doesn't look like any Alvin Kamara because he does have an MCL sprain, so figure that out. We have Jacoby Brissett or Lamar. You definitely have to start Lamar against the Bengals defense.
It's the Bengals defense, and it's Lamar versus the Bengals defense.
See, Joe Burrow's going to put up 47, and Lamar's going to put up 49.
Like, Joe Burrow's going to have like 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and lose by 2 scores.
We have Sprite Cranberry, great name. Dallas Goedert or Brock Bowers. I would say Brock Bowers.
If you're touching the Eagles' offense, you're insane.
Let's see. We do have another one here. Bucky Irving or Quinshon Judkins at the flex. I would say you start Judkins. The offensive coordinator, I think, for the Bucs said they're gonna give him the Chris Godwin experience, where it's like, here's a little bit of 25, offensive snaps, not a whole lot. So I would say you start Judkins over Bucky. But also, if it's a better week for Bucky, then at least you have confidence going into the playoffs. Sit Henry, like Derrick Henry or Hunter Henry.
That's a big distinction.
Montgomery, Jaden Higgins at flex. I would say Jaden Higgins for the Texans. Brissett or Goff. I say you still got to start Goff. Fannin Strange or Jawan Johnson. You got to start Harold Fannin. Rookie quarterbacks love their tight ends. Burning passion. They love their tight ends. Sit Derrick Henry. If you sit Derrick Henry and he puts up like 50 points, which he might honestly do, then that's on you. The Bengals have the 32nd worst rush defense. They're not going to stop a nosebleed if they tried.
Again, it's the Bengals defense.
Let's see. Michael Wilson or Sutton? I would say Michael Wilson, but also like Marv coming back. Yeah. That's a tough one. AJ Barner or Gesicki? I would say AJ Barner. Start Hampton, Benson, or Rome. I'd say you start Benson, but watch out for Hampton. See how his status goes moving forward. Kittle or Juwan, you go Kittle. Dom or Will. We're gonna go Will here. Start Keenan or Quentin. We're gonna start.
Dom's
Keenan.
scared. You can't start him.
Dom's scared. He is.
He's scared.
He has it. The last time he beat me fantasy was 2022. You still play fantasy football. Just put that in the perspective.
Yeah. You know, he beat everybody that year except for one.
I beat him one in the regular season, and then I don't know. I'm like 16-2 against him, like all time. Rough stats. You're rough. Gesicki, Henry, or likely tight end. I would say Hunter Henry. Zay or Franklin. I say you start Zay. Drop Daniel Jones or Bo Nix for Burrow. Probably drop Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's over.
It's Jover. Kelsey or Bowers. Probably both. I don't know. Lamar or Stafford, help. I think you got to start Stafford. Realistically, like Stafford's on a heater. You have to start Stafford. And they're playing the Panthers too. Lamar has a knee injury, a shin injury, a toe injury. Like, dude needs some bubble wrap. He's like beat up. Bowers or Schultz? I'd say you start Schultz. Actually, no, because Greg Olsen, not the commentator, Greg Olsen, he is the third stint as Raiders offensive coordinator, loves his tight ends, and watch Brock Bowers have like a career day on Sunday. Oh, breaking news. Frank Ragnow, the former Lions center, is coming out of retirement.
I hate everything.
He's coming out of retirement here. Get this man eligible. They play Detroit next week. Get him a freaking receiving touchdown. Do everything in your power to screw over Dallas there. Lamar or Brissett? I'd say you start Lamar or Burrow this week. I would say you start Burrow. Well, I say you start Lamar still. Would you start Wandale over Pittman, Ladd, Jefferson, or T-Mac this week? Jefferson, as in like Justin Jefferson, he's not been good this season. Like, everyone on that list is better than Justin Jefferson.
Again, you have to have a quarterback to get you the ball.
Well, every other quarterback, Carson Wentz looked good with Jefferson. You know, this kid's going to look better with Jefferson. It's just like J.J. McCarthy. The worst experience ever.
Jacoby Myers. Thing that ever happened for his career was that comeback versus the Bears practice squad corners.
Oh, yeah.
The worst thing.
I was like, damn, I have a good quarterback. No, I don't. He barely can play quarterback. Jacoby Myers or Andre Iosivas? I'd say you start Jacoby Myers. I don't know if Brian Thomas plays this week. We'll figure it out. Travion Henderson or Chase Brown? You got to start Travion. I got DK Worthy, Mooney, Drake is doubtful, and Terry. Which two to flex? Which two to start? I say you start DK and you start Mooney. I don't know if Terry plays on Sunday. Start Josh Jacobs or AJ Brown. If AJ Brown goes to the media and he starts bitching and moaning, I mean, he's going to get himself some yards. Happened on Sunday. He looked really good. I'd say you start Josh Jacobs. No injury designation, so they're definitely good. Lamar or Stafford? I say you start Stafford. Monungai or Swift? I say you still start Swift, but I don't know what the split is there for them. Sutton, Neal, or Hampton at flex? I say you start Sutton as your comfort guy. Let's make this a short and sweet episode here. We got the fantasy down. We got all this stuff. Let's go game of the week here. What do you want to point out from last week's actually plethora of phenomenal games?
Oh, geez, I got a couple that I really enjoyed. but I'll let you go first because I think I know which one you'll pick, so I try and go the other way.
Actually, I might throw a curveball here and pick the other one, but I'll pick two. We'll do a draft here. Okay. The first one I really want to go for here is the Chicago Bears and Pittsburgh Steelers game. TJ Watt passes JJ Watt while JJ's in the booth, so it's pretty, awesome there for them. And, Bears find another way to win. DJ Moore looked like the best he's looked the entire season, so maybe he's turning the corner now, getting paid $30 million. So it is looking better for them. And then, still 28 points with Mason Rudolph, but someone showed the passing chart, and it's just like the Steelers are allergic to passing over the middle there. In between the hash marks in the middle of the field, they will not throw the football there. It's always outside those hashes.
What is he? Kim Petullo? Nick Sirianni?
Arthur Smith, probably.
they
No,
don't-
that's
they-
that's the
I know.
Steelers, not the
They
Bears.
don't do it. They don't do it. The
They're
Eagles don't do
scared.
it either. They do not throw over the middle unless it's a little hitch.
And what about you? Pick yours, and then we could circle back to mine, because mine's not going to be the same as
So that was the one I was going to do. So I was going to show the Bears Alliance some love. And for the fact that TJ Watt, because I was going to say, JJ was probably ready to get a helmet and lace him back up just to get one more.
he has to outdo it one time.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to do. But any game that involves peak Jameis Winston is always the game of the week. You got him doing the gambler dice roll. I don't think I've come 180 more on a player than Jameis Winston. When he was in college and coming out, I hated him.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just if you hate Jameis Winston, I don't know what to tell you.
He's the most likable person in the entire league. Doesn't matter what team he plays for, who he's going with. He is the most likable guy in football. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But my second game, it's not going to be the one that you pick here, but I'm going to put Jaguars and Cardinals because it was an oddly interesting game at the 4:00 window, even though it wasn't the, I don't know, it wasn't Cowboys Eagles, but hey, lesser broadcast, middle of nowhere. Lawrence looked kind of decent. 3 interceptions though, but 3 touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett was still balling. Michael Wilson still looked really good. But, it came down to the defense, and the Jaguars defense came to play. So, I will get my flowers here for the Jaguars and the Cardinals as my other game of the week.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has the most confusing tape of any player. There's 3 throws or it's that's a Hall of Famer. And then there's 6 throws in a row where it's, how does this dude have a starting job?
He plays the Chargers, flawless game, absolutely gorgeous. This week he plays the Cardinals, not as good as the defense, absolutely is just getting murked the entire game.
He'll have throws that are just unbelievable. And then you have to question yourself, has this guy ever played football before? It's wild.
Do you have a second game or?
Well, my 2 was the Pitt Chicago game and then the Detroit Giants game.
Yeah, Frank Ragnow is coming out of retirement. Definitely not playing tomorrow, so we'll probably end up seeing him next week or whenever he gets back up to speed with that. But yeah, so let's buy, sell, and hold here, entering week 13 here. The greatest segment to ever live. I didn't even set anything up here for any buy, sells, or holds. I got one that's off the bat here. Boom. I'm going to buy Jahmyr Gibbs. 44 touchdowns before the age of 24. Only Barry Sanders is ahead of him with 47. He's passed Emmitt Smith and LT and all these other guys.
Well, that list of the guys on the 24 are wild. It's Barry Sanders, him, and I think the next one down was Randy Moss.
Oh, yeah, Randy Moss was on that list.
What?
It's a gnarly list. I am still surprised about that. Where did I send it? Did I send it in here? Yeah. Barry Sanders, Jahmyr Gibbs, Randy Moss, Emmitt Smith, Jim Brown.
It's like Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer.
And he's
like
going
not
to get
even
there.
it's like first ballot Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, like they're getting it like first ballot, like unanimous in there, and Jahmyr Gibbs is well on his way for getting there, especially in his
Randy
early
got
career.
first ballot, right? When he
I
was,
do believe so,
because I know there was that whole period. He was in the middle of the whole period of time of like receivers having to wait.
Yeah. But where do you want to buy?
He was, because it pissed Terrell Owens off.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember.
Because T.O. was still playing, though, while, him and Randy were in the league at that same time.
No, Randy got inducted first ballot when T.O. had been like the fourth or fifth time getting passed over. I am buying the Baltimore Ravens. They are back full in contention for that division. It's solely because Tomlin has choked this once again. Starts off hot, and we're going to go cruise in right for a 500 record.
I hope they tie before the end of the season there, so they do have a 500 record. I'm praying.
He's secure. I think he's basically secured that he's not going to have a losing season. So he's like, all right, foot off the gas.
They do have the tough matchup coming up there with the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. What about sells? Where are you selling off on?
Oof,
Might be the lowest hanging fruit of all time.
I'm selling the Vikings. JJ McCarthy and all of them. Like you traded up. You traded up to draft a guy who only handed the ball off and had the defensive signs. What did you think was going to happen?
I saw a thing that he only played like 700 snaps in college.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot, and only maybe like 200 of them were passing.
Meanwhile, like his backup, who went undrafted, had like 1,700 snaps between like a year at like junior college, and then he went to Minnesota. And it's just like how crucial snaps are, reading a defense, going through progressions and all that stuff.
Well, even in the snaps that he did have passing, he wasn't reading a defense because he had the signs. He knew what the play was. I guess he's still reading it, but
not the type of reading you need for an NFL defense. My sell, I'm branching off of you. I'm selling on 9, JJ McCarthy. I think it's over. He has worse stats than Jamarcus Russell, but he's like slightly above.
He has worse stats than Anthony Richardson. Worse stats than Anthony Richardson. And Anthony Richardson might not see the field again.
Too much of a complex offense for him right now. And then what about holds? Where are we holding off on?
I'm holding on the Buffalo Bills. They are mighty concerning. And
they got Brandon Cooks. They got Brandon Cooks. Did you not see the highlight? He had a 98-yard touchdown against the Oakland Raiders in 2015. He might be back.
Yeah. The ghost of Brandon Cooks. But it's the same concerning things that we see every year from Buffalo. Their defense is not good despite having a defensive coordinator as head coach. They can hardly ever stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
And the offensive line is not really protecting. It's like the same things every year. And that is a recipe to get beat by the Chiefs if you have to play them.
They might have to play on the road more than they're gonna have to go elsewhere on the road besides just Arrowhead. They're gonna have to go everywhere else if they even make the playoffs. Who knows? I'm going to hold on the Ravens defense. They've been looking good the last couple weeks, but I want to pump the brakes. I want to see where they are going forwards. Figure that all out. We have one final question here. Well, 2. Should I drop Vital or Jaden Higgins? I think you shot Vital. And then start Pittman or Ibuka. I say you start Ibuka if Baker's playing. Easy as pie. And here we go. Week 13 picks. We got it right here. We're going to be going in. Last week, Colton went 10-4. Dom and I went 11-3. And you went 12-2 on this pick meter. I thought I was having a good week. I picked Houston. You guys didn't follow the neck. I was upset. I said, I'm going to do this. and then the Colts let me down, and then the Eagles let me down.
It's really rough.
Tyler Shook let me down.
Like having 12-2, but one of those two is your own team who's supposed to be really good is really painful. Like my only one was gonna be Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But yeah, right now Dom has a 1-game advantage at 120-58. Jake is at 119-59. I am 111-67, and Colton is 110-68 on the pick-o-meter. Will we get to 100 losses? I mean, I probably will. Who knows? Yeah, Colton and I are definitely going to get there. But we have 16 games, no bye weeks. And then next week has byes. Then we're back to our normal slate of 16 games in a week here. And here we go. Thanksgiving, 1 o'clock, not 12:30, 1 o'clock. Green Bay is traveling to Detroit. The moon phases are out. The Lions are 10-3 under this moon phase against the Packers on Thanksgiving. I've seen it. I've broken it down. Dan Campbell's like 7-1 while playing under this moon in the month of November. Okay. This is the must-know stats, and we're all sweeping Detroit on this one.
Oh, every time you
listen, I was waiting for the moon, and I can look up lion moon faces and it will be there.
I forget. There was one earlier in the year. I think it was like Arizona and the Niners where you picked something and I just solely followed you because I thought you had some dumb voodoo like that.
So here's your moon set. The Lions are playing under a waxing crescent moon. The Lions are 10-1 on this moon in the last 3 years. The Lions are 7-4 on Thanksgiving during a waxing crescent and 3-0 against the Packers in those games. There it is. And then we go from Detroit, who started the Thanksgiving celebration, to Jerry World, who says, I want attention as well. They're playing the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. We are split here. Dom and you are taking the Chiefs, and Colton and I are taking the boys, the Cowboys. Taking the Stars. And then, while we're in our hibernation, probably not watching this game on Thursday night, but the Bengals, Joe Burrow returns to the lineup for the first time since week number 2 to face the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. You are lone wolfing the Baltimore Ravens.
Wild. Okay. Don't let him change now. He'll be on a plane. He won't even see this.
I bet my grandparents' house in the Lions, guys. We're chilling.
Listen, every year on Thanksgiving, I make it right until about halftime of that Dallas game, and I miss the late one every time.
You have Brandon Walker on Barstool who says, oh, you know what the right time is to have Thanksgiving dinner at? He goes 11:30. But then he broke it down. He says, you eat for the first game, you're full, you take a nap, you're waking up for the Cowboys game, you eat again, and then the night game, you eat again. You have three dinners by that time. He's a psychopath, but I kind of understand that a little bit. And then we have the Black Friday game. Eagles, the one time this year, they're wearing their all black uniforms. And they play the Bears. I'm lone wolf in the Bears.
I swear to Christ, figure it out.
I just have this hunch. I have a hunch here. And then we go into the Sunday slate of games here. The Rams on another cross-country adventure, like their 7th one this year, it feels like. They are playing the Panthers. We're all sweeping the Rams there, and a potential MVP winner, Matthew Stafford. Then we have the Niners who travel across country. They're playing in Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders' first home start in his young career. The first rookie quarterback to win his first start in Browns history in like 3 decades. Impressive. Jake and I are taking the Browns. Meanwhile, Dom and Colton are taking the Niners.
It has nothing to do with Shedeur Sanders. It has everything to do with that absolute alien that is on the defensive side of the ball.
I hope he's not against Trent Williams that game. I am hoping he's not matched up against him.
Trent better hope he's not. Trent only knows how to pick on DBs.
And then Brock Purdy with 3 interceptions. They're going to figure it out. Very tough defensive matchup there. But then we go into an AFC South battle here. May CJ Stroud return? He did practice the last 2 days there for the Texans. They're facing the Colts, who are coming off a very bad loss to the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. We are all taking the Colts, and we're all ready to get injured here. We're all ready to get hurt. Not injured. We're getting hurt.
Well, the only reason I'm picking the Colts is because it's a home game.
That is true.
Home division game.
And for the first time since 2009, the Saints are playing in South Beach against the Miami Dolphins. Last time they played there was when they won the Super Bowl. Let's put that in the retrospective. Because the last time they had to play the Dolphins, it was in London. So it didn't even count as playing in Florida. So you go back to February 2010 is the last time that the Saints are playing in South Beach. Much different league. All about, hey, watch this game in HD. Now it's 4K and streaming services and all that stuff. But anywho, first time this season, we're all sweeping the Miami Dolphins on this one. What a world we're in. And then we go to Jet Life Stadium, where the Jets are hosting the Atlanta Falcons here. Falcons trying to save their their draft pick that they gave the Rams. They gave it to them. Just blindly gave it to them. We're all taking the Falcons on this one. Then we have the Cardinals. They're going to Tampa Bay to face the Bucks. We're all sweeping the Buccaneers, whether it might be Teddy Two Gloves or whatever's going on down there. We're taking the Bucks. Then a little bit away from Tampa Bay is the Nashville Stadium, where they're at the end of its life there. Jacksonville at Nashville, at Tennessee, face the Titans. We're all picking Jacksonville. Then Minnesota travels to face their former quarterback and Sam Darnold at a 4:00 start in Seattle. We're all sweeping the Seattle Seahawks on this play here.
For obvious reasons.
The obvious reasons. What a bad first start it is. You have to go into Seattle, which is already loud as it is. It's going to be terrible for Max if he's starting. Then we have the Raiders, who are traveling to SoFi Stadium to face the Chargers. We're all sweeping the Chargers on this one. And then the game of the 4:00 hour, the Buffalo Bills go to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. And we're sweeping Buffalo on this one. Despite a losing streak, we're sweeping Buffalo. Can't be any worse than MJ. Then JJ says MJD. That is true.
Listen, it can't. It really can't.
And
by
then
the numbers, it can't be worse. Jamarcus Russell. That's it.
And then we have the Sunday night game, which somehow was not flexed out. The Denver Broncos and the Commies are playing. We're picking Denver. And then Monday Night Football, the Giants travel to Foxborough to face the Patriots. We're sweeping the New England Patriots on this one. There you have it. That's the show. Follow us on YouTube, For the Fan Network, TikTok, For the Fan Network X, For the Fan _ and Instagram, For the Fan Football. Any final thoughts before you're thinking about that just being put under on the couch after a food coma and a half?
No, just Dom's scared to make his picks. He's waiting till the last minute now. He's seen that lead dwindle.
Should turkey be served on Thanksgiving?
Sure.
Or should we move forward to like a ham or a prime rib or something?
I'm a ham guy, but
a good honey spiral ham fucks stuff up. It fucks everything up.
Listen, I pass out after halftime of the Cowboys game every time, every single time.
You can find us every Wednesday here on TikTok, YouTube, X, wherever you find your podcast next day. You can find us all these places. Everyone, have a happy Thanksgiving. Tune in next week. Thank you all so much.